All right, hello everybody once again. Welcome to another episode of the JimFear138 show podcast thing. It's... I'm sorry, I don't mean to open this up, but I got, hang on, I need to find some cigarettes. I have no idea where the pack I was... Oh, wait, there they are. Never mind. Okay, now that I found the cigarettes, I'm sorry, I don't mean to... I don't mean to open up the podcast by just bursting into fucking laughter, guys. But today has been fucking hysterical. So I got my smoke. I got a big old jug of liquor. It's good shit, too. Good old J&B. It's like a fucking liter and a half. Hell yeah, bottoms up. And, today has just been a gift, guys. It has been a gift. So, Candid, let me find somewhere to dump this fucking ashtray. Okay, now I wasn't going to bring up Candid again, right? I was just like, alright, this is really shady. Stay away from Candid, go to Gab, go to Mines, go to places like that, and I was just gonna fucking let it lie. But because of the hurricane that's off the coast, we had a really slow day at work today. And I mean really slow. Really, really fucking slow. And I'm not going to get into details because I don't want to reveal too much about where I work. But point is, I had fuck all to do today, pretty much. So, I went on Twitter, and I was just dicking around on Twitter, just reading shit posting. And I started to notice something fairly early this morning, and this is being recorded on the 7th. So this is events that happened on the 7th, and this is what I understand happened. Okay, so the CEO of Candid, whose name is, and I shit you fucking not, Bindu Reddy. Bindu Reddy is this woman's name. And I cannot believe that's her name, but she looks kind of like, I guess kind of Middle Eastern, maybe Indian. I can't really tell because the pictures on Twitter are really tiny. And I can't be arsed to actually go find out. So maybe the name is just weird to me. But anyway, the name is aside. So, as you guys know, if you don't know, then I'll tell you now, Harmful Opinions has basically been bashing the fuck out of Candid. And all of the people who have taken up shilling for it, people like Shoe on Head, Armored Skeptic, Mundane Matt, The Amazing Atheist, and a couple of other people. And he brought up a lot of inconsistencies in it, in their business practices. In that they will go to people like Shoe on Head and Armored Skeptic, and The Amazing Atheist, and they'll be like, hey, we have this amazing free speech app, and it's awesome, and, you can post completely anonymously. It's like 4chan on your phone. And they just kind of bait, hook, line, and sinker, and signed a contract and started making videos about Candid. And then Harmful Opinions videos came out, and he was like, these guys are really shady. I don't know, this seems really weird to me. Just be careful. If you like the app, whatever, go have fun with it, but just be careful what apps you use, guys. And he managed to find out that Candid had been paying people like TJ Kirk, the Amazing Atheist, to respond to him, to make response videos defending Candid. So he found this out basically through TJ being an asshole. Just a complete and utter asshole. As, he's wont to do. He is the Amazing Atheist after all. That's kind of his shtick. But, the weird thing comes in when the CEO of Candid, the fucking owner of the company, comes up to him, Harmful Opinions. And if you haven't watched Harmful Opinions and Johnny Red Fox's videos about Candid. Go look those guys up. They explain in pretty damn good detail what exactly is fucking wrong with this app. But there's more that they don't cover, they haven't covered yet, and I'll get into that in a bit. But I literally just saw this go down today, and it brought such a smile to my face, and it warmed my soul. So I have to tell you guys about this shit. But, okay, so the CEO of Candid reaches out to Harmful Opinions and is like, hey, let's do like a video stream. And Harmful Opinions is like, okay, sure, yeah, fuck it. I've got questions. You're the fucking CEO of the company. Why not? Let's make this fucking happen. Bit bang boom. You know? And then she starts adding qualifiers. She starts adding conditions. That's the word I was looking for. Not qualifiers, conditions onto this live stream. She wants him to do a phone call with her before the live stream starts. Now, what would be said in this phone call wasn't elaborated upon to my knowledge, but I could guess it would be something like, feed me the questions so I can get answers ready before we get into this. Kind of like they do Hillary Clinton. She also wanted him to moderate his chat because people had apparently been sending her mean messages. And this conversation went directly from, okay, we're going to get onto this live stream to talk about the accusations that I've leveled against your app, and we're going to find out what's up here. We're going to get your on-record statements about it and find out what's going on and see if we can come to some kind of understanding about what's happening and what's really going on with this app. So then she's like, you know, we have to do the phone call and you have to moderate the chat because I don't want people talking about my butt. That was a specific thing that she brought up. You can go check her Twitter account, Bindureddy, Bindureddy. You can go check that. I'm not making that up. She was upset that people were talking about her ass. But it deflected onto, you know, people are being mean to her, and she didn't want people to be mean to her during the live stream in the chat, which you don't have to watch the chat. I've been in Google Hangouts, right? And there's been a chat going on. You don't have to pay attention to it. I've moderated, I like one time for ANY Pony and one time for KP. I've moderated, like Twitch, was it Twitch? It was some kind of live stream before Google Plus became a thing. You don't have to pay attention to the chat if you're in the live stream, and it's actually considered disrespectful. I remember this happened with I want to say Aaron Ra, where he would respond to people in the chat instead of the people that he was actually talking to in the stream. And it's actually considered kind of disrespectful to watch the chat unless it's just you and the chat hanging out. This is like Internet 101 stuff. If you've been hanging out on the internet for more than 6 months, you know this. This is 101. This is basics. This is high school, man. So she starts making all these demands and stuff, and he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. My chat is free and open. People can do whatever they want there. You don't have to watch it. You know, you can't ignore it. And other people were saying the same thing in those threads. And it was just fucking mind-blowing to me that this woman is so afraid of what Harmful Opinions is going to say about it. And he didn't say anything. He was just asking questions. He was just, this looks shady to me. I want to know what's up. And it was like these people were playing in a puddle of gasoline. And he just went in and said, hey, why are you guys playing in a puddle of gasoline? That seems kind of stupid. And they immediately ran off to find matches and succeeded. So the stream wound up not happening. That's just not, it's apparently not going to happen, even though the CEO did a Q&A with Shoe on Head, which, because Shoe on Head is being paid by Candid, I can't imagine that's going to be very insightful or deep or address any of these problems in a meaningful way. But I haven't seen it yet, so maybe I'm wrong. I'll give Shoe the benefit of the doubt on that. But the live stream with Harmful is not happening because she doesn't want people talking mean about her butt. Is essentially what it boils down to. So this goes on for a while, and he keeps interacting with her and being like, you're being stupid, you're deflecting. I even got into it a little bit with like, you're using this as an excuse. You don't want to go on the live stream. You don't want to talk to Harmful Opinions because you can't adequately answer his fucking questions. So either stop deflecting or stop incriminating yourself. Either come clean or stop spinning this web of lies was my point through the whole thing. But eventually, Mark Kern got involved. Good old Grums. And that's when shit got real. I mean, really real. Hang on, I need another shot for this. So Mark is a programmer. He's a developer. He's worked on video games. And apparently, according to him, I can't verify this. I don't know Mark Kern that well. I just follow the guy on Twitter. That's it. But apparently, he's got a law degree. So he can get into these contracts that the YouTubers that have been pimping Candid have signed and find out what's actually wrong with them if they're able to show him the contract. But none of them, to my knowledge, were. So let's just go over to Grum's Twitter, and I'll just give you guys the, like, actually, there was a, let me get up to my, just open up the home thing, because, or wait, I've got notifications open. I can just go to my profile here. Here we go. There's someone compiled a bunch of screenshots that basically breaks the whole thing down, and I will do my best to find it, but it happened a long time ago, and I like a lot of people's tweets. So let me see if I can find this thing. Okay, this is, maybe somebody deleted it. I'm not really sure how that fucking works. I do remember liking it so that I could find it later. There's Harmful asking about the emails. Okay, here's part of one of the emails that Bindu sent to Harmful. Quote, I see a ton of very hateful things said to me already in the comments and tweets, including stuff about my butt, etc., etc. I told you I wasn't lying. How are we proposing to handle that type of stuff? Is the idea that anyone can debase me on the stream? How long will the stream be? How will we handle someone saying things, I'm a total bitch or whatever else? Or is the plan not to handle it and make fun of me? Clearly, I don't want to go on stream and have everyone call me all kinds of things without even bothering to listen. I see that you have tweeted and told everyone that they can say whatever they please on your comments. Yeah, so that happened. I have no idea where the fuck it went. I'm pretty sure I retweeted it. Maybe I can find it that way. But I retweet a lot of shit, so. And most of it is shit. I just enjoy shit posting. Yeah, it's not fucking here. There's a Harambe reincarnated as Hurricane Matthew. Yeah, I just cannot find it. Maybe it got disappeared somehow. But we can just go to Grum's timeline. Oh shit, apparently they're going underground. According to Grums and Rude Game Dev, they're going under, so they need to archive shit. If you're getting shit on Candid, archive it. Archive it. Archive.is. Okay, here's one of the good ones. Twitter is too fucking hard to use on a desktop. This website really is very much built for mobile. But basically Mark Kern's problem here is that they're saying one thing and doing another. They're lying, it's false advertising. He doesn't care that they log his data and they data mine. I don't care that they data mine. I use websites that data mine all the fucking time. I use YouTube, I use Twitter, I use Tumblr, I use Google. Google data mines your ass to fucking back. I mean, I'll go on, like, fuck it. I'll go on, like, my comic shop or my online comic shop or whatever the fuck it is, and I'll just browse around and look at comics, and then I'll go look at some YouTube videos, and the ads that I see will be for the website that I was just at. So I know that these websites data mine. I don't mind being data mined. It's not that big of a deal to me You know, it's actually kind of convenient. It's a little bit creepy that they're keeping tabs on me like that. You know, that kind of sticks in my craw a little bit. But in the end experience for me is a net plus because they're showing me things I want to see. So it's not really, you know, unless they're doing what Twitter is doing and actively censoring people, I don't really have a problem with it. And like I said last podcast, I use Twitter because everybody's fucking on Twitter. Everybody's on Twitter. And I've actually gotten some business opportunities and, you know, networking done on Twitter, despite the fact that I'm a relentless shitposter and I can't shut my fucking mouth about my political opinions. But Mark's problem is that they were data mining people without telling them that they were, while making it seem like they were. Like 4chan used to not data mine you. Now it does. The 4chan premium pass thing, that's all data mining is what that's for. And he's selling it to advertisers and whatnot. And it's 4chan is kill. 4chan has been kill for a long time. But like 4chan used to be, they didn't fucking data mine you. I mean, if somebody wanted to find you, they could probably log your IP address and find you that way. But like selling your information to advertisers, it just did not happen on 4chan. But with this, they're telling you that they're not doing that while doing it. They had a specific, I think it's called Kochiva, something like that. Hang on, it's on Kochiva. Yes, by Candid using this is Kern. By Candid using Kochiva, they handed over all their anon to third party and agreed to let them use data however they like. So let me see if I can find this Encyclopedia Dramatica article that is about Be Candid. So here we go. This is the top tier of internet journalism, Encyclopedia Dramatica here. You know, I would really like to see Dangerous Analysis take down Candid. That would be fun. If you guys aren't subscribed to Dangerous Analysis, go subscribe to that dude's YouTube channel, follow him on Twitter, all of that shit. Dangerous Analysis is a stand-up motherfucker. Okay, so Be Candid /code. This is the important one. Breaking news, their newest release has removed almost all references to Kochiva. Expect them to find a new way to data mine you. This was done by downloading an official APK, then decompiling it by using Eclipse, Dex2Jar, and JD/GUI, all freeware tools, so from a legal aspect, there are no issues. They didn't even secure the APK, although Kochiva has encrypted some files as to how they store user information on the database Candid is running. This does not impact the results of the finding. So there's a lot of, I'll put this in the description, but there's a lot of pictures of what looks to be JavaScript, Java code. I can't read Java code. I can't read HTML. I have the barest minimal understanding of what this is saying. Like, I recognize the word Facebook and shared preferences, token caching strategy. I recognize words, but when you put them in this format, I have no idea what they fucking mean. So I'm just kind of taking all of this on faith. But the reaction of the company to all of these accusations makes me think that this is going somewhere, that this is serious, especially with someone like Mark Kern behind it, who understands how this stuff is compiled and how all this shit works, because he's been in this industry for years now. So, grain of salt with the information on this podcast, but if you want to go investigate all of this, just hit up Grumz, @Grumz, GRUMMZ, Mark Kern on Twitter. I'll link his Twitter profile, and I'll link the Encyclopedia Dramatica article. But Candid uses this, and there's a picture of some code. Candid is taking your Facebook info. That's another shady thing about this fucking app. They say it's completely anonymous, right? But they give you the option to log in via either your Facebook profile or your telephone number. Why would they need that if this is anonymous? If this is completely anonymous, why would they need this shit? Boycott Candid, guys. Do not use this fucking app. They are lying to you, and that's the problem. At least websites like Twitter and YouTube are upfront about their data mining. Candid is fucking lying to you, and the only reason they would lie about data mining you when literally every website ever except for 4chan data mines you is because they have some kind of nefarious purpose in mind. Whether that is training this AI, like Harmful Opinions has theorized, to detect hate speech and harmful speech or whatever, so that they can sell it to other people, other websites, other companies, and they can use it to moderate their chat sections so that you don't know you're being censored, but nobody else can see what you post. Or whether it's just they want to sell you coffee makers. They're lying to you about it, and they are disguising their intentions, which means they have nefarious intent. That's what that fucking means. There's no two ways to get around that. With every other website on the internet data mining you to advertise to you better because everybody uses Google AdSense, so Google, through them, is data mining your ass. What fucking reason would they have to lie about this? It does not make any fucking sense. So, now that I've got my glasses cleaned here, and I'm done sounding like Alex Jones.
They're gonna take our shit posts. They're coming for us. I'm a human, and I'm coming. This lizard alien plot to take our water with our internet phone apps shall not go unchallenged.
I really want the microphone that Alex Jones has. It looks really, really fucking nice, and he gets perfect fucking sound from that thing. And he doesn't even have to be looking at it. He can be like a foot away from it. Like, he can be right where I am, and you'll notice a difference in sound quality when I pull away like this, or I talk over here towards the other side of the room that my mic is pointing from. You'll notice a difference in sound quality. There's no difference in sound quality with the mic that Alex Jones uses. I want that fucking mic. But now that I'm done sounding like Alex Jones, I'm going to take a shot and get a smoke, and we're going to get on with this. So, Candid uses this is from the Dramatic article. Candid uses this to connect to your Facebook account, which they've announced on their site. What they haven't said is that they're downloading your user information and using it to data mine you. Now note, it is optional to skip Facebook integration via a very obscure skip button in the top right corner. I managed to find that when I first downloaded the app. It is not on my phone anymore. Some of the information Candid is taking is where you work, what education you have, your age, gender, and hometown. These are classic data mining fields used by many, many corporations. This code snippet was found in the file sd.java. Candid is using a data mining service, and this is where shit starts to get sinister. And then there's a couple more pictures of some JavaScript, is what it looks like to me. If that's even it looks like HTML code, like you would use on Blogger. In these two pictures, you can see Kochava in action and the build config, and that it's being used, but as referenced above, Kochava has encrypted a lot of the storage processes, and it's referenced in 149 documents in the APK. Now, what exactly is Kochava? And then there's a quote here from Moby Affiliates. Not really sure who that is. But Kochava is a mobile app marketing tracker with a unique approach. It looks at all device identifiers as equal, and as such is able to match the identifiers of different publishers to provide effective analysis and reporting to advertisers. In addition to this, Kochava also automatically engages a device fingerprinting system using a number of algorithms incorporating carrier and geolocation to match clicks to installs with an accuracy rate of 85%. That's pretty fucking high. Offering deep-level integration support, Kochava supports server-to-server integration as well as an SDK for Android and iOS. Match reporting for each attribution includes how device, hash types, etc., and cohort analysis, cohort is capitalized, so I'm guessing that's important, is offered for ROI overlay as well as optimization according to various campaign metrics, clicks, installs, post-install revenue, etc. And then this is still from the Encyclopedia Dramatica. Now, this is fucking scary. Kochava is integrated in everything you do. It's directly connected. For an app that claims to be, quote, free speech and, quote, anonymous, this is pretty fucking de-anonymizing. Now, this will be expanded upon, but Kochava gets all this information from Candid and uses it to sell you ads. They get your first name, middle, last name, geolocation, where you work, how old you are, what education you have, and Candid has its own feature of deciding how, quote, politically correct you are. And then there's a dirty word. And I tried clicking on because it's a link. I tried clicking on it, and it took me to the App Store, and tried to sell me like Candy Crush or something. Let's see what it says here. This article got us banned from Patreon. Okay, this is just your regular Encyclopedia Dramatic affair. It's stupid. It's meant to piss people off. It's retarded. But these code snippets were found in the file logging.java and buildconfig.java. So let's go on to how Candid data mines you. Now, this block of code is very fucking interesting, and there's a picture where it has map.put, and then it goes to Facebook, platform action request, OG action publish dialog, feed dialog, like dialog, app invites dialog, message dialog, OG message publish dialog. Now, this block of code is very fucking interesting. If you connect to Candid with a Facebook account, this is what you give Candid/Kochava access to. Your feed, your likes, your app invites, and your messages. This is clear data mining, and for an anonymous app, this is really fucked up. There are lots of other ways Candid is data mining you. They get your first name, last name if you connected it to Candid. They get your cell phone number, either from Facebook or if you registered it yourself. They get your phone model, your phone OS, all of your installed apps. They also use this information via their partners Google, Firebase, and Kochava to get your custom Google advertising ID. They then store this and use it for promoting customized ads to you. This is a whole lot of fucked up to take in for an app that claims to be free speech and anonymous. They sure as hell collect a lot of data on you. And then there's more pictures here. Candid and Kochava is getting your location, your very accurate location. This is regardless of if you used Facebook or not, because every phone has a GPS in it. So they can, and this is me extrapolating right here, every phone has a GPS in it. So they can use that without letting you know that they're using it. For example, like every time I download a new app, it's like, oh, this app would like to use your location. And I turn that shit off because Downpour doesn't need to know where the fuck I am. You know, Graphic Audio doesn't need to know where the fuck I am. Audible doesn't need to know where the fuck I am. They just need to know whether or not I'm satisfied and I keep buying. But I could quote unquote turn off the location services on Audible and Downpour and Graphic Audio and whatever other app I'm using. That doesn't mean that it actually gets turned off. And for Candid, there's no way to turn that off. Well, apparently there is a way that you can turn it off, but Mark Kern went through and found out that it doesn't actually turn it off. They just tell you it's turned off, and then they keep using your location data to suggest groups in your area. That's one of the features of Candid, is that they suggest groups. So there's like politically incorrect, there's gender issues, there's men, women, Trump, Hillary, blah, 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 just about anything you can think of. There's a group on Candid for it. But the point here is that they don't turn off the location thing. They gather your location whether you tell them it's okay or not. So now here comes the fun part. Candid is making a list and checking it twice of which apps are naughty and nice. And then there's a couple more pictures of more code, which I'm assuming is Kochava and Candid accessing what apps you have installed on your phone and then logging that data. Now, what could Kochava possibly want with our installed apps? They already know our geolocation, cell phone number, and first last name if you use those services. Your Google Ad ID, which was given freely by Candid. Candid literally gives you a tracking ID after you've completed the sign-up procedure. And then there's another picture that says gossipapplication.getKochavaTracker. This event, registration complete. These code snippets were found in the file gossipapplication.java. Candid and advertisement. Here we go. And I realize that this has taken up a lot of time in the podcast, but this is important, guys. This is something that is baffling for an app that claims they don't want to do advertising. They have a fucklot of advertisement code. Whether this is future-proofing or copy-paste from MyLikes, which is the company that owns Candid, also owns the app MyLikes. Can't be confirmed. Jesus, I'm sorry, I got fucking hiccups. More liquor ought to fix that. In this image, you can clearly see Candid connecting to Google and get your personalized advertising ID. I would assume this is already given to them via Google Play Store, which a lot of people use under their personal name. This is handed off to Kochava in the mess that is the Candid source code. Now, why would they need this since they're, quote, ad-free? We have no idea. Here you have clear proof that Candid uses Kochava for advertising purposes. This is further de-anonymizing when they link you to Twitter ads. Say, for example, you want to get fisted up the ass by a robot dildo, and then on your personal Twitter 24 hours later you see ads for robots or dildos. This is the scenario this can be used in. And then there's a picture of ads. It's a folder called ads. They even have a folder named ads. How much clearer can it possibly get? There's a folder in the code for ads. They are absolutely data mining you while telling you that they're not. So what all this boils down to is that Candid is a heap of shit. I'm not going to go through the rest of the Encyclopedia Dramatica article. You can go over there and check that out if you're more tech savvy than I am. I would appreciate hearing your opinion on how legit this is. But as a caveman, this makes me very fucking worried. It's also very concerning. But the icing on the cake, everybody, the icing on the cake is that Harmful Opinions went around and collected a bunch of advertising videos that Candid paid for. That's very important to remember. Candid paid for these. And he logged whether or not they had disclosure, whether the person had disclosed that, hey, this is paid advertising, these guys came to me and they gave me money, and now I'm shilling their product. So he took all of this information that he gathered and he sent it to the Federal Trade Commission, and Candid is about to get fucking hit for false advertising. They're about to get hit. And I even had an interaction with Bindu. Let me see if I can actually find the goddamn thing. Yeah, an Armored Skeptic even admitted that they data mine. And here's the tweet from Harmful Opinions. I sent the FTC around 40 ads that do not have disclosure in vid, lol. Here we go. So this is Mark Kern talking about finding out that they use Kochava. Or Kochava. Nice find by Candid using Kochava. They handed over all their anon to third party and agreed to let them use the data however they like. And Bindu Reddy says, absolutely not. That is a blatantly false information. And then Mark says, just like your advertising. And I said, tell it to the FTC. And then she replied to me and said, it's not true, ellipses. And then I said, do you not understand? Literally everything you say is suspect. Talk to a government organization and enjoy your investigation. And that's basically where it's at right now, guys. Candid is about to be investigated by the fucking federal government for false advertising and possibly, well, I don't want to get into what possibly might happen, but definitely false advertising. So the Federal Trade Commission is about to get involved in this, and it's going to be glorious when they come through, over the hill like the fucking Ents in the Two Towers. And just completely fucking wreck Candid shit. And that's the thing, like I keep saying, if there's one lesson that I learned from Gamergate is that when a company starts showing anti-consumer behaviors, when they start indulging in this anti-consumer mindset, when they start lying to people, when they start treating their consumers like they're shit, like they should just swallow whatever the fuck they're given, you cut them off and you make them pay. That's how you fucking handle this. And Candid is about to pay for lying to people. That's the issue that I have with this. Like I said earlier, I don't care that they data mine. They can data mine all they fucking want. I'll happily click away on that app all day fucking long. I just did it on Twitter today. Twitter data mines you. Fuck. I don't have a problem with data mining. I have a problem with you fucking lying to me about data mining. When I have your promise, and advertising is essentially a promise, unless you put that little caveat in there that says, products advertised may not actually do blah, 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 blah. This app not actually anonymous. It'd be real nice if they had fucking put that in there. That's what pisses me off, because I was expecting to go into Candid and, oh, this is like 4chan on my iPhone. This is going to be awesome. It's totally anonymous. Anybody can say whatever the fuck they want. It's great. In the wake of Twitter and YouTube and Facebook's efforts to censor the internet and working with governments to censor the internet, this is awesome. This is so cool. And then I saw Harmful Opinions video, and I was like, oh, this is shady as fuck. I'm just going to delete this off my phone and wait and see what happens. And what happens is these motherfuckers prove themselves to be untrustworthy, and now they've got the FTC breathing down their fucking necks, and they've totally fucking clammed, and they're trying to delete all the evidence. This is some shady shit, y'all. Boycott fucking Candid. Now. If you have it on your phone, delete it. Get rid of this app. Not because they're data mining you, because they lied to you about data mining you. When these companies come out here and they think that they can fuck their consumers like this, we need to remind them exactly who pays their fucking bills. Exactly who holds the purse strings. And exactly who can cut off their funding whenever the fuck we like. We are the ones who hold the power. The consumers are the ones who hold the power in this relationship. If Valve started doing shit like this, and I don't think they do, but there might be shit with Valve, but if everybody just fucking downloaded all of their games off of Steam onto an external hard drive and just stopped using Steam, just fucking stopped using Steam, Valve would fucking notice. We're the ones with the power here. And every once in a while, it's healthy for us to just bloody somebody's fucking nose. Somebody who thinks they can get away with something like this. And remind them exactly who the powerful one in this relationship is. And it's not them. It's the consumer. We have options. For example, Twitter's stock is tanking. Twitter is actively censoring people. Twitter is kicking people off of their platform for ostensibly no reason, but really it's because they hold the wrong ideological opinions. People are fleeing Twitter in droves, and this company is looking to sell. And not even Google wants to buy Twitter. Google backed out. Google backed out. Look at that shit. Go look that shit up. Google that shit right fucking now. Yeah, use Google to check on Google. Google backed out of buying Twitter. They don't fucking want it. Twitter is dying. Twitter's got 2 years max. The consumers are the ones who have the power here. Not the platform, not the company behind the platform, none of that shit. Not the advertisers, the consumers. Because the consumers can affect the advertisers, as we saw in Gamergate. Those emails didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing. They showed these companies that there are people out there who will stop using their products because they are associating with this organization that has dicked over their consumers, and the consumers are not happy. And I sound like I'm leading a Marxist slave revolt here, but that really is the fucking way it is. Vote with your wallet. If these people fuck you, why are you giving them your money? Why are you giving them your time? Why are you giving them your clicks? Move over to Gab. Move over to Minds. Fuck Candid. Fuck Twitter. Fuck YouTube. It's time to abandon these platforms and do something worthwhile on a platform that actually values free speech. Something like Gab. Like I said, and this isn't the most ringing endorsement of Gab, but I've seen white nationalists on Gab. If Gab will publish white nationalists, if they will give white nationalists a platform to say whatever the fuck they want, they will let you say whatever the fuck you want too. If they're not going to censor these people, they're not going to censor you. And, you know, it's like that old first they came for the, hang on, I'm gonna actually look up the thing because it's important. Okay, here we go. This is the actual poem. It turns out it's a poem. from the Holocaust Encyclopedia. Wow. This is the poem. I'm not even gonna try and... Martin Niemöller. I think that's how you pronounce that guy's name. First they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out, because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. So with a site like Gab, to tie this all back together, because I swear to God there's a thread here, to tie this all back together, with a site like Gab, if they don't go for the white nationalists, there's a very little probability that they're going to go for the communists or the socialists or whoever. Those people might catch relentless shit on Gab, because at the moment, the website is kind of Trump happy. But the website itself is not going to censor them. Twitter and Candid do. And now with Gab, you can set your own self-censorship things. You can mute accounts, you can blacklist words, all well and good. If you don't want to see Voxday's tweets or Gabs on your timeline, you can mute Voxday. He will never know that he's been muted, and you don't have to put up with his shit. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that if enough people mute Voxday, Gab is going to remove him from their platform. Now, one of the things about Candid that's very fucking interesting is a lot of the quote-unquote SJW promoters of Candid that have been reached out to by the company like to talk about the badges that Candid allows you to give out to people. And it's supposedly all anonymous. So far as the users know, everything is anonymous. You can't tell who said what. But if you accrue enough hater badges, quote-unquote, you can be banned from the app forever. Now, does that sound very free speech to you? Why is this company sending out conflicting messages like this? Boycott this fucking app, dog. Just get it off your fucking phone if you have it there already. If you don't have it on your phone, never touch it. Never touch it. Just fuck these people who think they can pull this shit on us, pull the wool over our eyes like this. Fuck them. They don't deserve your time, they don't deserve your clicks, they don't deserve your downloads, they don't deserve your money. You and the people like you are the ones that hold the power in this relationship, and it's time to remind them of that. And that's all I'm going to say on that. I think we've got into that enough. And seeing as how that took up the fucking majority of the podcast here, we're already at 51 minutes. Jesus Christ. I'm going to get another drink, and I'm going to light up another smoke. And then I'm going to talk about something happy, something fun, something cool that I think you guys would enjoy. Am I the only one that gets that worry after you take a shot of like really strong liquor and light a cigarette that it's just gonna like blow up in your face? Am I the only one? I know it's irrational. I know it's not gonna happen, but it's still like one of those thoughts in the back of my mind. Anyway, so let's do something happy. I'm gonna talk about happy shit. I'm not even going to get onto the Twitter as a utility thing. That's just fucking retarded. You're stupid if you think Twitter is a utility. And that's all I'm going to say on that. But, so there are a couple of podcasts that I really, 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 really like. And I want to share them with you guys, because I think you guys will really, 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 no, I'm not going to do the review, really like them too. So the first one is Marscorp. Marscorp, as in Mars Corporation. Go look up Marscorp, guys. It is fucking incredible. I don't know why I haven't talked about it on the podcast before now. They're just about at their season finale. I think next week, next Wednesday, is going to be the season finale. So they're just about done. You can listen to the whole you can binge listen to this motherfucker. And their episodes are like anywhere from a half hour to an hour long. So you're getting good you're getting a good amount of time that you can be distracted from your normal sucky life, because I know that's why I listen. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, I had this problem when I tried to turn my brother on to Marscorp. I just started, we were like cooking, and I started playing the first episode. And it sounds like a ripoff. I would have to go listen to it to see what kind of ripoff it sounds like. But it sounds like a ripoff, but it's not. It's not. It takes all of these sci-fi tropes and it subverts them, and it makes them fucking hilariously funny. It's amazing. And no, I'm not getting paid to pimp Marscorp. I genuinely love this show. They've had this deal going on for the past, I don't know, like 6 weeks or so. Maybe like 8. Where you could go on this one app, or you could go on their website and you could buy the whole show. I have purposefully put off buying the whole show because I want to listen to it as it comes out. I want that delayed gratification because the show is that fucking good. I want to wait for a new episode. Like, I want to experience it as they're releasing it, is kind of what I'm getting at here. So I highly recommend y'all check out Marscorp. I absolutely fucking love this show. Like, it's about this woman who comes to Mars, and she gets woken up like 500 years in the future. She's just been sitting in a fucking in a broom closet in a stasis tank for like 500 years. And she gets woken up, and suddenly she's the base manager, and she has to deal with all kinds of crazy shit. Like, there's extra-dimensional spider monsters, fucking murder. They did a whole episode where it was basically like a 1980s cop drama, and it was one of the funniest things I've ever fucking listened to in my life. It's brilliant. The writing is amazing. And this is by Definitely Human. You can follow these guys at Not Human on Twitter, and they're worth a follow. They put out brilliant shit. They're I think they're The Bunker is their other podcast that they originally put out. I think that's ongoing. But Marscorp is just one season. It's like 12 episodes. It's fucking amazing, guys. Just the sound design, the music, the voice acting is incredible. I wish I was as talented as these people. And I'm a pretty damn good voice actor, if I do say so myself. I'm okay. I'm not, as stellar out there. I'm not John DiMaggio or, insert your favorite Tony J or anybody like that, but I'm pretty good. I'm good enough for the internet, which isn't saying a whole lot. But I wish I was as talented as some of these people. And the way that they deliver their lines is just absolutely beautiful. And the characters are fucking amazing. You're gonna love these people. Just I can't say enough nice things about Marscorp. I really cannot. You guys are just gonna have to. I'm gonna link to it in the description. So I'm gonna have to like make a list here if I could find a goddamn pen. That's a pen. At least I thought it was a pen. It writes. Okay, so yeah. I'll link to it in the description. It's on iTunes. I don't know if it's on other services because I don't use I use iTunes. But go look up Marscorp, guys. Start from the beginning and just give it a chance. Just let them get past the first episode and get into the second, and it's amazing. It's great. It reached out and fucking grabbed me. It was like listening to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy radio dramas for the very first time. And I've been reading them books since I was in fucking high school. Yeah, I think it was high school when I started reading the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But this is in the best tradition of Douglas Adams. It's fucking awesome. Just go listen to it. Trust me. Just trust me on this. If one of you guys who listens to this podcast goes and listens to Marscorp, I will have done my fucking job, and I really think you guys are going to enjoy it. just go listen to it. I really don't want to give anything away. I don't want to spoilers it or anything. So go listen to the fucking podcast, okay? Another one that I wanted to talk about was the Deep Vault. And the Deep Vault is a lot of fun. It's about this group of people, and the end of the world has come, and now where's my ladder? And now they have gone to this vault that the two of the main characters remember was rumored about in the area where they were kids, and they get down there and everything's gone to fucking hell. There's monsters and there's robots, and there's this socialist chick that they met along the way, and she's a lot of fun. Despite the fact that I really just hate socialism, that chick is a lot of fun. She's just about my favorite goddamn character in the show. The Deep Vault. The Deep Vault. I'll link to that one as well. Just go and listen to the Deep Vault. They're only like 4 or 5 episodes in, so you won't have a lot of catching up to do. But it's really good. They have really good sound design. They have really good voice acting. They have good music. Everything about this show is fucking gravy. So just go listen to Marscorp and the Deep Vault. Trust me. Trust me, guys. You will not regret this. I guess I can get into this, since I'm fucking here. I've been listening to Black Library's audiobooks. And if you don't know who Black Library is the publishing wing, like the book publishing wing of Games Workshop, who releases Warhammer 40,000, and a couple other things that aren't nearly as popular. I've been listening to the Horus Heresy audiobooks, and that feel when you're more professional than the people that Black Library paid probably $1,500 or more to produce their fucking audiobook. Like, okay. The Unremembered Empire. And it's a great story. I fucking loved that story. I do not regret listening to the audiobook in the fucking least. Basically, this is right after the Istvan thing that happened, and if you're a fan of the Horus Heresy, you know what I'm talking about. Istvan happened, Horus's treachery is revealed, the warp storms are crowding in, and nobody can get to Terra anymore. So, Rabute Guilliman, I always called him Reboot Guilliman. Maybe it's just like a difference in reading or something like that. But in the book, it's Rabute Guilliman, has decided that the Ultramarines' home, the 500 worlds, and Ultramar and Macragge and Calth, which recently, this is after the Word Bearers came and attacked Calth. He decides that this is going to be Imperium Secundus. Right, the Second Empire, the continuation of his father's vision to make sure that some vestige of the Empire survives this horrible fucking travesty. And if humanity has to reassemble itself from the shattering that the Horus Heresy has brought down upon it, then what better place than Ultramar and the 500 worlds? Or Macragge and the 500 worlds. And I can't really disagree with him. There are worse places you could pick. You could pick Fenris. Which anybody who knows anything about Fenris, yeah, that's a really, really fucking bad idea. And then, like, he's really conflicted about this. He really doesn't want to do it. And, the Lion shows up. The Lionel Johnson shows up. The Dark Angels Primarch. And he's like, hey, what the fuck you been doing? He's like, well, I'm thinking about starting the Second Empire here. And the Lion's just like, you think you might be overstepping your bounds here, mate? And they come to the decision that neither of them is really fit to be emperor. Like, the Lion is too secretive. He's too collected in on himself. He plays it too close to the chest. And if Rabute took the mantle of Emperor of Imperium Secundus, it would seem like a power grab because he already rules this area. So, you know, I'm just gonna, like, proclaim, this is the Second Empire and I'm the Emperor, woo! It wouldn't be a good look. So the whole time, they're, like, throwing the crown back and forth for this whole fucking book. And then Sanguinius shows up near the end, and they just both look at him and then hit him in the fucking face with the crown. And at the end of the book, he's just... This book's been out for like 3 years, so... But at the end of the book, he's just like, alright, yeah, I guess. But the journey is really what matters here, because that, like, all of this has already been predetermined. We're in Warhammer 40,000. This is Warhammer 30,000. This is the retelling. If you're interested at all in the Horus Heresy, then you're interested in how the Empire got the way it is. You already know what the ending is. You already know the end point. You're interested in how it got there. So the journey being greater than the destination is kind of the watch phrase of the Horus Heresy. If you're a fan of 40k and you get into the Horus Heresy, then you already know where everything ends up. You're just wondering how it got there, and that's why you go listen to the Nathaniel Garrow audio dramas, or read literally any of the books. You want to find out how things got the way they are. So you're automatically more interested in the journey than the resolution. And there's a couple of things that shouldn't be spoiled, but the vast majority of this shit is already predetermined, and they give spoilers in other books about shit that happened in the past, and the timeline is very hard to pin down. Some books cover the entire heresy from beginning to end. Some books focus on a very tight part of it. Some books cover the first half. Some books cover the second half. It really is just this whole fucking general mishmash, and you gotta dive your ass right in. So spoilers aren't really a big deal when it comes to the Horus Heresy. But, like I say, Sanguinius shows up at the end, and they just kind of throw the crown at him, and he's like, well, I don't really want to. I really, really don't want to. But if it's for the good of humanity, then I will become the Emperor of Imperium Secundus, or the Regent. The Regent, that was it. They didn't want to go with Emperor. They didn't know that Terra had been destroyed, but because they needed humanity to have a fixed point to solidify itself around, they had to go with something. So Regent gave hope that Terra, Imperial Terra, was still there. But it also gave people a figurehead to give them hope. And they kind of threw that at Sanguinius. And meanwhile, in the background, Conrad Kurz is skinning people alive and wiring chapels with grenades, and Vulcan has gone completely fucking insane and is, like, dying and re-dying. This gets into the perpetuals and shit like that. It's a really, really, really good book, especially if you're a fan of the Horus Heresy stuff. So go look that up. But like, in regards to being more professional than these guys, there were several parts listening to the many parts listening to this where I was like, I'm more professional than these guys. Like he just did that, and then Horus said, you know, or something like that, where he's got like the mouth noises and he's swallowing before this phrase, and it's just really nasty sounding in my ears, and I really don't need that mess in my ear holes, boss, and I would prefer if y'all would have cut that out, because presumably y'all paid a lot of money for people to do, you know, post-production and editing on this shit, but I'm not seeing it. Really not seeing it. Or rather, I'm not hearing it. You know, there were actually repeats of lines. And that's one of the things that really pisses me off about Mr. Creepypasta's channel, and one of the reasons that I've seriously considered just not watching or listening to any of his shit anymore, because he doesn't fix flubbed lines. And these guys will flub a line and then not fix it. Like, that only happened like once or twice in the book, but your listener will notice. And that's going to stick in their fucking craw, and they're going to remember that time you fucked up. So you can't fuck up like that. You have to be more professional than that. And just hearing that, like, this audiobook cost $50. If you go and buy it from their website, it costs $50 fucking American. And the narrators are great. Okay? The vast majority of the time, the narrators are fucking awesome. They don't do a lot of voices because these are really long books, and I don't blame them. They do their best to differentiate between characters within a scene so you can kind of tell who's talking when, but they don't do a whole lot of voices. They don't really try. They just kind of read the story and then put on silly voices when the fit takes them. So, like, it's not worth $50. It's not. I'm sorry, Black Library, but it's not worth $50. Like, bring it down to like 30. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'll think about that's what Scott Brick charges at Brick by Brick Audio. Go look up Brick by Brick Audio. He's a really good narrator. He got the exclusive rights to do the first few Thomas Covenant books. He does a really, really fucking good job. Scott Brick is an amazing audiobook narrator. But at the same time, I could go listen to Lord Fowl's Bane, which is the first Thomas Covenant book, which you should all look up as well, and not hear any flubbed lines. You know, sometimes there's breaths, and they cut down on mouth noises over at Brick by Brick. But on the whole, it's cheaper and it's more professional than the Black Library recordings, and I don't know where they fucking get off charging $50 for this that has mistakes in it. They didn't have somebody go through and listen to this shit and take like a notepad and a pen and mark down the timestamps of where the mistakes are so they could go in and correct it. They don't have time to cut out this motherfucker, you know. And then Horace said, you know, that kind of shit. You don't have time to cut that out. I understand that some breaths can be ridiculously difficult to get to because it flows in with the dialogue so easily, or the prose so easily, but stuff like what I just did, you're not going to hear that in the podcast because I might leave that in just to show you a idea of what I'm talking about. But what I just did right there, yeah, they don't have time to cut that shit out. I cut that shit out of my personal fucking podcast that I do for fun. And they don't have the time to cut that out over at fucking Black Library? And this is supposedly a production crew, a production company that makes these audiobooks for them, and they can't cut that shit out? They can't cut out flubbed lines? Are you fucking joking me? And you want to charge $50 for that? Fuck you. Fuck you, I'll pirate your shit. Until you get a reasonable idea of what prices are. I would pay $30. I would pay $30 for the audiobook, the flaws and all, of The Unremembered Empire. I would pay $30 for that. There's no fucking way you're digging deep enough into my pocket to get $50 out of me to buy that audiobook. No way in hell. Now, I'll give my money to Games Workshop other ways. Absolutely. I'll buy models, I'll buy paint, I'll buy, a messenger bag. I really wanted to get one of the Space Wolves messenger bags, but they recently ran out of those. But, like, there's other ways that Black Library, they recently came out with the Korax novel. And that hardback is like $50. I'll pay $50 for a Korax hardback, even though it's not worth $50. I'll pay that just because I know that I've torrented their audiobooks, but it's just like, where the fuck did they get off? I'm more professional than these people. How is this real life? I don't fucking know, guys. But it's a good audiobook, and if you can find it on a torrent site, I highly recommend looking it up. It's a good book in itself. If you want to read the book, I recommend picking up the book. But yeah, I reckon I've gone on long enough. Oh, the new episode of the Dimension Bucket Magazine podcast is live, and it is ready to go, and it sounds really fucking good. And we've got some original fiction. We've got some Robert E. Howard poetry going on in that one, and we've got some Cameron Suey for y'all. So go over and check out Dimension Bucket Magazine podcast. It's on iTunes. It's on probably a bunch of other places. Just check, and if you can't find it there, you can probably find it at our website. You can definitely find it at our website, dimensionbucket.com. So just go and check all of that shit out, guys. And it's been really good hanging out with you. Boycott Candid, solidarity, and all that shit. I love you guys very much. Thank you all for listening. I gotta go. I gotta try and edit this shit tonight. Get it put into a video for YouTube and get it put up on the iTunes and shit like that. So I'm gonna head out. It's been awesome chilling with you guys. Go look up those podcasts I mentioned, Marscorp and The Deep Vault. Go check those guys out. You will not be sorry. So, all right. Love y'all. Peace.